Hi, welcome to EDSC 562. This is Career Development, and this is Professor Bubble. This is week 6. We'll be discussing chapters 12 and 13 as we go over what ninth and 10th grade looks like for college and career readiness and how we as counselors can begin to provide help and support to those in grades 9 and 10. I'm going to go over, share my screen, and begin with my presentation. Okay, so we're talking about college and career readiness for ninth and 10th grades. So we want to make sure that the students have an introduction to career and college readiness. What are the developmental skills for those that are in ninth and 10th grade? What are some career theories that help to match that? And then what are some readiness interventions for these grade levels? How to collaborate with our teachers and parents, and then some case studies that might be available. So the reasons why ninth grade is important, it is a significant shift to more rigorous academic demands where students have to manage multiple classes, projects, and increased expectations for the independent learning. So we noticed that they had the change of classes in 6 through 8, but now they have more work, more homework. In 6 through 8, we may not have had as much homework, but now they're going to need to do homework assignments in order to be prepared for class the next day. Um, there's lots of failure rates in ninth grade, so we have a lot of students who tend to fall out or drop out and go to get retained or fall behind because they're unable to manage the workload. Um, we have freshman academies that are introduced to be able to support those students and give them, help them to adjust socially and academically and work on their work habits. And then we also want to expose them as counselors to career and college planning. As we know, their grades count the most in ninth and 10th grade for their college applications, and they need to make sure that they're getting the highest possible grade in the courses that they're taking in ninth, 10th, and 11th grade. So some psychosocial development, Erickson's, he uses this as the versal role of confusion stage, where the students have hard time balancing their social environment along with their academic environment. They are highly influenced by their peers and they want to be accepted by their peers, and this may make them less focused on work and the academics and doing well there. They have different family values. They're coming from different social backgrounds, which can cause tension and have an impact on academic and career choices. Um, Students will begin to oscillate between concrete and abstract thinking. They hold sometimes a lot of personal fable beliefs. But one of the things that I noticed about when they're trying to develop what they want to do is they usually quote whatever is the most exciting television thing that they want to do for a career. And then their adolescent ideals are in a moratorium status, exploring careers without commitment. So most of them want to work for themselves, but they don't know the extent of what that looks like. They think that, they'll be able to just develop something and make money. And we know how difficult that is. Um, Ninth graders also evaluate careers based on self-concept, gender roles, and social values. They often compromise due to limited information and choose what feels accessible highlighting the need to expand their career knowledge. So we want to make sure we give them lots of opportunities, give them many interest inventory tests so they can define what am I good at instead of looking at the world and trying to mimic what is happening in the world. Holland's Focus matches the personality type. So this is a great inventory test. And you guys spent last week doing your assignment on going through some inventory tests and made some awesome suggestions to how to use these inventory tests with these grade levels. And then students will transition from growth to exploration and work on crystallizing their career goals, developing self-concepts that help them see themselves in the role in the life roles that shape their career decisions. So some follow-up activities we can have for a ninth grader is they struggle academically. So making sure that they get the support that they need academically. We put them in interventions to help them find out what is the reason for them failing. Is it time management, organization, inability to understand and comprehend the reading? So these are the things that we need to make sure that we support them with and get them into the right intervention so that they don't continue to fail. Um, also we have poverty as a major factor for our ninth graders, which increases their opportunity or increases their monitoring and risk of dropping out. Intervention study skills, like I said, we need peer tutoring, academic monitoring. We shouldn't let a student get behind an entire semester before providing those interventions. We need to see at the halfway point and the mid halfway point um, how the students are doing academically and get those interventions into place before the grades come out. Because once the grades come out, they have to retake the courses. And they need continuous follow-up throughout the ninth grade year to help monitor. Don't assume that the student is doing well that first semester and nothing will happen that second semester because then they'll face the same circumstances in that second semester. This is why it's important for ninth graders to have individual learning plans, and this will help them to guide and identify career goals, select relevant coursework and activities to help prepare them for their post-secondary success. Some of them may want to go to a four-year immediately. Some of them may want to go to a community college. Whatever their choice is, we want to guide them and give them the most support and giving them clarity because a lot of the students may still feel that community college isn't really college. But we know that community college requires for you to be extremely intrinsically motivated so that you can stay the course. It also helps you with your remedial classes and courses that you might need to take. It helps with you in the maturing stages to be able to mature before going on and paying larger amounts for your courses. We need to make sure that the students are involved. Getting them involved in school helps them to want to be at school and maintain and stay at school. So fostering self-awareness, motivation, and ownership to their educational journey is what this individual learning plan will do. Also, we're going to tailor their academic pathways so that we find what each individual needs and not make a one-stop shop like, oh, you could do this or you could do that or you could do that. We can put that in a class lesson, give them all the options, but now we need to pull them out into their individual learning plan and decide what that each student needs based on their backgrounds, their family life, and what happens. And we need collaboration and monitoring. So the school counselor, along with the student, the parent, and the teachers should make sure that their individual learning plan remains relevant and it supports their academic progress and career exploration. So, and we also need to have curriculum collaboration, counselor-led curriculum delivery, which is dedicated guidance classes or workshops focusing on academics, career exploration, goal setting, study habits. These are all skills that many of the students come in and may need. And then you can revisit it in a small group or in their individual learning plan if they need more support. They need teacher involvement in co-teaching. So the counselors deliver some career readiness lessons during their advisory periods. And then it's integrated into existing courses, ensuring consistent messages across the staff. And then planning and flexibility. Teachers and counselors should work together to adapt the curriculum throughout the year based on the students' feedback and the academic progress, allowing both proactive and reactive interventions. So the counselor can use a combination of assessments, including like True Colors, ACT, career interest inventory to help students identify personality types and related careers. True Colors is a great one. It has the 4 colors, making it relatable and fun for adolescents to understand themselves and learning styles. Their personality insights help to improve academic performance and reduce interpersonal conflict and increase self-awareness. Sometimes we just need to make a connection with our students, and that'll make them come to school every day and not want to leave. Because if you know that person and you are connecting with them and relating to them, some of them need that, and that's what keeps them coming to school. Integrating the career and college counseling across academic, personal, and social domains to enhance the student engagement and for future planning. And then to combine multiple assessments to provide a comprehensive understanding of their students' strengths, interests, and potential career paths. So in the large groups, we should be sharing out basic ideas, just the basic information, because as we know in a large group, most students aren't paying attention. But for repetition, we want to make sure that the students are receiving the information in that large group, and that's how we get to the masses before um, we get to the individual planning. Through this, we get oral explanations and written handbooks and online resources. And then in the small and medium-sized group, we encourage the student questions and interactions and enhance understanding so that they get a better understanding of what is the expectation, what is the goal at the end of this 9th grade year, 10th grade year, 11th grade year, up until you are applying for college or going to your post-secondary career. And then multiple formats, oral presentations, Q&As, written materials, ensuring that it's available for diverse learners. So during an individual planning assessment, here's some things that you should do. The counselor should meet with 9th grade students individually to discuss long-term goals and tailor the guidance for each student's interest and readiness. There should be key advisement questions. Counselors should ask students about their future plans, certainty of goals, knowledge of requirements, and the need to support to clarify and strengthen their college and career intentions. They need to collaborate with the students by holding planning conferences, providing classroom support, ensuring students receive consistent messages about academic and careers. They need to involve the parents, so there should be a parent meeting at some point with that individual planning, just so that the parent is able to hear what the child's goals are, whether they agree or disagree. They can they can learn to start having conversations and get on the same page. And this helps to ensure that the students, maybe the parent is expecting 4-year college, but the student may not want to go to a 4-year college, may want to do a certificated program. So just giving the parent the additional information that they may need and showing them through the occupational outlook handbook, maybe this is the best strategy for the student and that they can always go to college. Monitoring and following up, making sure you do check-ins and combine this with classroom activities that allow you as the counselor to identify students who may need additional support and tracking their progress throughout the year. So when we partner with our parents, we need to make sure that and the student clearly articulates their aspirations, and if there's an immediate need for employment, if they're understanding and respecting their own perspectives. Um, we also want to take in cultural and language considerations. Each person coming from different backgrounds, what are the expectations? Building that into our information. And then outreach strategies, like where can we go for resources, for families, for technology, for financial assistance, and just making sure that we do this multiple times throughout the year. And then equity, making sure that um, all parents are involved through social economic status and ethnicities. And we should recognize the differences um, of involvement and tailor support to empower all the parents and foster confident participation in post-secondary planning. So this is where I'd say, not all of our parents have the time to be able to come in, but maybe Zoom or by phone or with resources. I think Zoom helps a lot to show them different websites that they can go to ensure that they're getting the support that they need. And then it just helps to let the parent know how much support the school will provide, and then what is required um, additionally at home, and do they have those resources at home to be able to finish off what's needed so that they can be successful. So it's a critical year, ninth grade, because that's the entry. We don't want to see a lot of failing in that entry level year because it requires a lot of remediation and course recovery. So we want to make sure that their psychosocial challenges, such as identity formation and peer influences, their cognitive skills are available and ready for future planning. We want to make sure that they have effective support, which is their individual learning plans, their collaborative curriculum, and then the parent teacher engagement to help them build confidence and skills throughout the year and for a strong foundation for their high school career. In 10th grade, we want the students to build on foundational academic and regulatory skills developed in earlier grade years. And this emphasizes narrow career goals and making sure that students begin to understand internal and external factors influencing their choices. We also want, they have puberty change in 10th grade. So we want to make sure that they develop their formal operational thinking and their abstract reasoning and future planning. We also want to emphasize self-concept development and its impact on their career choices. Focus on self-efficacy, outcome expectations, personal goals, and development. Encourage and build confidence through success and supportive feedback, and make sure that the students still have interventions in place. We want a continuous career plan, building on what we talked about in ninth grade, making sure that we still have that individual plan, the teacher-led planning meetings, sample student conferences, and collaborative goal setting. We want to optimize the feedback to the students, making sure that they understand where they are and how they're going to meet the goal, and that the consequences that will happen if they have to continue to retake classes and courses, and how this will impact them receiving a high school diploma. We want to have role models and mentors. We have our vicarious learners where students gain confidence and insight by observing role models. We have mentor programs that structure with mentorship and with people from the community, connecting them up with people that want to do some of the same things that they want to do, and career fairs for exposure. We want to have mastery of experiences and academic rigor, making sure we're exposing them to advanced placement, PSAT, and the equitable challenges that they might face with those tests. And then we want to define each unique school needs, making sure that the school has a needs assessment to help identify specific career and college planning knowledge and skills that are required by that student body, gathering input from students, parents, faculty, and then assessment data to guide and customize the programs that we have on our campuses and to tailor interventions to improve student engagement. So we should have the small group supports, the classroom-based life roles explorations, and the skill development role for management. Um, so we want to make sure that the students are mastering some of the experiences like internships, advanced course placement, standard-based test building that builds confidence and shapes career goals, and that they have community collaboration with teachers, counselors, families, mentors to provide support and encouragement, and combine these efforts to refine the goals to make informed decisions and prepare for post-secondary success. All right. Thank you so much. And I will see you week 7.